Welcome to Star Citizen. So, we got some news on the MISC Expanse. If you don't know what the MISC Expanse is, it's the new in-concept role ship. Its role is refining. And there's quite a bit of information on this ship. I'm going to leave a link down below, but I'm going to go over the most important ones and the ones I may have a concern with. Now then, compared to station-based refineries, refining ship can do it faster. This will be since the player will be in full control of the process. Now, refining shouldn't really take long, because they said it's going to be a skill-based process. If you know what you're doing, if you know the materials, how to refine them, how to get maximum out of them, it should be a pretty fast process. There will also be some risk. You just can't put Quantanium in there and wait with it. If you start a process, it will halt with the volatility, but if you just store it and it won't start processes any moment or before it goes critical, yeah, it will still go boom. Now then, actually refining, transferring, storing, it's all gonna be a bit of a rigorous, complex work. They don't really want to call it a mini game, although I guess it kinda is, but you'd still have a relatively big chance to lose if you are terrible at it. Well, refining's actually gonna be somewhat interesting. We can refine a lot of different things. Raw and unrefined materials, basically minerals, gases, metals, and including scrap. That's good to know. At the moment they haven't given us a clear answer, but refining will most likely require some form of catalyst or reagent. And also it will need some power and thus probably use somewhat of our hydrogen fuel. It might also get modified by the power plant that our ship has. You can reuse the same containers that you start refining from if you do the process right away. You can store the materials for later refining if you wish, but yeah, as I understand, it's in general gonna be better for you to just refine it, store it back up, and leave it be. Because the refining process connection is really weak, it can cause some trouble. Now, you can do it later and store it in your own sacks and then detach those to someone. But yeah, ideally you might just want to do it right away, bring it in, refine it, and store that container back up. For comfort, there's actually going to be two sets of pods. We already know that there are 8 pods with total of 64 units of space. Now, once 8 of these have been detached, there are additional 8 that can be filled up. Let's say there is a ton of Quantanium, there's just keep coming in. So you can basically do one set, and once the first set is done, you detach them and start doing another set, which is actually really nice. To make things easier for dedicated miners out there, they are planning to create some form of buy-sell system. This can work in 2 ways. You can sell it to the refining ship, so the refining ship takes it pretty much on from there. Or you can just pay for the refining and get the resources back refined. It's interesting to see how it all might work out. Well, there's gonna be 2 types of refining, of course. You can do it manually in this, I guess you could call it minigame. But you could also use the automated mode, which has a rather minimal amount of interaction. Of course, doing it manually is gonna give or might give you better results if you know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how it all works out for you. It might even go faster. But the idea is, if you want, you can just take the easy way out and you don't really need to put in all the time. There's a bit more information, you can check it out yourself if you want, but this was pretty much the gist of it. They kind of want us to create industrial fleets where the refining, salvage, transport, everything goes together, perhaps with some fighters and defending gunships. It's kind of cool if you think about it, like an industrial fleet of players who are gonna do mining. They're gonna go into an area, start mining it, most likely gonna go for the Quantanium, and the way it might work out could be interesting. Now, earlier they have said that it can run several processes at the same time. I guess if you're taking this route, you can't really use it 100% manually, because you can only do one process at a time manually, as I understand it. I mean, there's still some questions up in the air, how it will all play out. One question that I actually have is, will we actually be able to refine other ores, gases, minerals into a valuable substance if we do it manually? Is there a way we can maximize it so that we can get good money out of these more common resources, materials that we find around the verse? How much is a lot faster? Will it take 5 minutes, 20 minutes if I use it automatically? Can I do it fast and manually? How much can I maximize it actually? Like if I will get the 100k from refining at the refiner station, will I be able to get the more out of it? Is there a way or equipment that can actually help me refine faster, improve my refining quality if I use automated variant? I mean, there still are some of these questions that we don't have answers to, but we got the basics of how the ship is supposed to work. It's still in concept, and it probably will be changed to an extent from one side to the other. The minigame might be changed. Yeah, it's all up for debate. But this was pretty much what we know of the MISC Expanse, the dedicated refining ship that I'm kind of waiting for. Anyways, thanks for watching.